going to re-ink a couple of TWSBI pens today, a couple of fountain pens that have actually been away for repair, or not repair, for servicing, let's say. This one was leaking, my TWSBI Classic, and so I sent it back to Cult Pens and they very kindly sorted it out for me, which I'm very grateful for. And then there's this one, my TWSBI 580, which I changed the nib on it from an EF extra fine to a medium, which was quite straightforward. But once I'd done that, then it became quite stiff on the piston mechanism. I don't know why. So I sent it back and they serviced it for me. So they're both ready to fill and I want to use them. I want to use them for my morning pages today, so I thought I would, rather than just fill them and write, I thought I would fill them and film them and write. So I've spent long and hard trying to think about what ink to put in them, and I've decided on Diamine Bilberry for the 580 and Rohrer Klingner Maroon. I'm not sure what the actual name is. This is a limited edition 2019 ink that I haven't used in a while, so I'm quite excited to put it in this TWSBI Classic because it's a broad nib and it puts out a lot of ink, so I'll get to see the ink in a really nice way. So without any further ado, let's get to it. So I'm going to start with the Bilberry. This is one of my favourite inks, and I normally put it inside my Waldmann Edelfeder, but I've since swapped that and put in some Edelstein teal coloured apatite, they call it. That's apatite, which is a limited edition ink that I got fairly recently. It's my most recent edition. So both of these pens are piston fillers, so basically you twist the piston until the little rubber gasket, or whatever you call it, is as far down as it will go. And one of the great things about the 580 is that the ink capacity is massive. It holds a crazy amount of ink in that see-through reservoir. I love the sound of uncapping ink bottles. Okay, so the pen gets dipped into the ink and the piston gets twisted and the ink is pulled inside, or the see-through reservoir. It's called a demonstrator pen, this kind of pen, which means that you can see the ink. Now it hasn't filled all the way up as much as I would like, so I'm going to squeeze it back out. And pull it back in. So there's a gap, but that's fine. So now we let the ink drip back into the bottle. Give it a wee tap on the side. And then with some kitchen towel, we're going to give it a wipe. Clean the section. This bit of the pen here is called the section. And we're good to go. Screw on the cap. And now we have a full TWSBI 580. Cap back on. Now this one looks like a potion from an apothecary, doesn't it? Just love that. So this one likewise is a piston filler, but it's not a demonstrator. So we're not going to see the ink as it's pulled in, but the mechanism is exactly the same. We twist the end as far as it will go. That one's not such a satisfying sound. Okay, and here we go. And I'll just, as a matter of course, squish it back out and bring it back in. Give it a clean. So although this is not a full demonstrator pen, it does have a little demonstrator bit at the top of the section. Okay, so that one's good to go. And let me just show you the difference in the nibs between these two pens, because I was quite curious about this myself. You see that the Diamine 580 has a nib that's a little bit more flanged. So this is a number 5 nib, that's the size of it, and on the Classic it's a number 4. I don't know if those are in focus or not, I hope so. So I prefer this one just because of how it looks and how it writes actually as well. Which is not to say I don't like this one, I just wish that it had that nib. Okay, so now we have two pens ready to write, and it wouldn't be very nice if I were to go through all of that and then not show you a writing sample, would it? So let's do that, shall we? This is my Stalogy B5 notebook that I use every day for my morning pages, which if you're interested you can sign up and read, because I'm one of those crazy people that posts my morning pages online. Most of them are members only, I don't put them in public, generally speaking. And some of them are paywalled, so bear that in mind if you're interested. Okay, we're going to start with the TWSBI Classic. That's the one I'm most excited about. And the Diamine Pro, which I don't believe has ever had Bilberry ink in it. This is exciting. So there you go, a couple of pens re-inked. It's time for me to go and sit outside in the sun. and do today's writing. So I hope this has been useful to you. Fountain pens, beautiful things. Thanks for watching. See you later.